Shalom, guys. So we have a new guest. This is my husband, Matt.
Shalom.
And we have an interesting topic that we want to discuss today that I had brought up on a previous video that I did in the last couple of days, where I'm making a comment at the end of one of my videos, and I talk about how the world that we live in is not a big blue ball.
Like this.
So that is what we are going to briefly touch on. We're not doing a full-blown research topic on this.
It's going to give you some nuggets that are important.
Yeah, because it's important for you to do your own research. So
me go first?
Yeah, why don't you go
So
ahead?
what was created on day 2 in the creation story in Genesis 1? There was only one thing created. Let's check it out. We're going to go to page 1 if you wasn't sure about that. Page number. Genesis 1, 6 through 8. And Elohim said, let an expanse, or in the King James and other translations, just the word firmament will appear here. And I think that's the word you used in another video.
Mm-hmm.
Let an expanse come to be in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. And Elohim made the expanse and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it came to be so. And Elohim called the expanse heaven.
Shamayim.
Heavens, plural. Shamayim. And there came to be evening, and came to be morning the second day. So, the firmament was created on day 2. So, what was created on day 4?
The sun, the Kuf, which
The
is
sun, the moon,
Kuf.
and the stars.
Yep.
So, let's see what was created on day 4, according to Genesis 1. 14 through, let's see, we're going to go through 18. Genesis 1, 14 through 18. And Elohim set lights, let lights come to be in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and appointed times, for days and years, and let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth. And it came to be so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And Elohim set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. Let me read verse 17 again. I'm going to harp on this. And Elohim set them in the expanse, or the firmament, of the heavens to give light on the earth. So the sun, moon, and stars are inside the firmament. The sun is not 93 million miles away. The moon is not 238,000 miles away. And the stars are not billions of light years away, as mainstream science teaches us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against all science. Some science is good if you can repeat and observe an experiment. But all this is made up, mathematical, theoretical nonsense. Abba created the firmament and put the sun, moon, and stars inside the firmament. Now, how far away is the firmament? Matt doesn't know. Candace doesn't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a couple thousand miles away. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't got that nugget yet.
So bring that book back over here.
That book?
Yeah, that hardcover
Okay,
book
wait.
that's
So
flat.
let me make my point that I brought up earlier.
Okay.
So humor me on this one, brothers and sisters that are watching my lovely bride's channel, Miss Beavers. So let's kind of compare ourselves to the firmament. So it has the word firm in it because it's a solid structure.
What's the word for it in
Wait, here we
Hebrew?
go. Solid structure. Hold on.
Okay.
Get to that in a minute. So the firmament is solid. It's solid. It's made by Abba.
Mm-hmm.
It's firm.
Just like our house.
So are we firm and solid in our walk with Abba?
It's a good question to ask. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you go. Pass the mic to you.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. Here we go. So our houses are built on a solid, firm foundation. So I'm going to rewind.
So is the earth.
Yep. And so I'm going to rewind and go back to where you were first reading at. Would you like to read Genesis Bereshit?
Do you not know how to read? No,
1:4.
1:4.
1:4.
And Elohim saw the light that it was good, and Elohim separated the light from the darkness.
Okay, so we're going to focus on the word good right now.
Tov.
So, yep. So the Hebrew word for good is tov, which is compiled of 2 pictographs. Yep, compiled of 2 pictographs. We have tet and we have beit. Okay, now I bring this up because tet is the earth. This is one of the models. Okay, so the earth was all one form in the beginning.
Interesting.
Okay, and so in this case we have tet beit tov, and that basically means that what he created was good. It functioned properly and it served a purpose. Okay, tet has to do with containing. The earth contains his children and everything that he created. It contains it.
There's even verses that talk about under the earth too.
Yep, under the earth, which brings me to...
Wait, did we say the name of the video or the teaching? Are you firm in your faith?
Firm in your faith.
Firm.
Okay, so I guess that was an important thing that we needed to put
the
the beginning.
I looked down and I was like,
see, I don't normally do that at the beginning of my videos.
I do, so that's probably one of those.
So, okay. All right. So,
I'm here for
rewind.
you.
Today, our video is called Pass the Mic.
Are you firm in your faith?
And fast forward. Okay. Now, so tet in this pictograph, we have revealed chet. So tet and chet are revealed within the same pictograph. And I've been talking about this one in several of my videos. These are pillars. We want to make sure we have a firm foundation that is placed upon these pillars in our lives. Because that, yep. And that means that our houses, our beit, need to be on that solid foundation. And if we are not founded on a solid foundation, what happens, Matt?
Topple, we crumble.
We crumble. Do you remember?
We're not firm.
We're not firm in our foundation. So what does Yuhshua say about that? In the parable?
What parable?
Okay, where he's talking about if you're not, you know what I'm talking about?
Founded on the rock.
I think it's, is it Matthew 24? Or it's close to that.
Why don't you talk about that and then I'll find it.
All right, well, he's looking for that. I have a drawing. Now, this is not anything compared to what it's going to look like.
Not a final draft.
Yep, but this is my template right now of our earth, which is the Hebrew word eretz, which is Aleph, Resh, Tzad. Okay? But here, let's put this up here again. So here is the foundation of the world upon pillars. And then we have Tet, we've got the mountains, we got the sun, the moon, and we have the 7 layers of the Shamayim, or what you see here is the rainbow. Okay, so I will be finishing that at some point and I will share it with everyone. But going back to... Did you find it?
Yeah, I almost went on a tangent.
Okay.
All right. Matthew 7, 24 and 25.
Oh, well, I said Matthew 24, so.
You got the 24.
Yeah.
Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be like a wise man who built his house on the rock.
A solid foundation.
Firm foundation.
Yeah.
And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock.
Yep. So we want to make sure that we are founded on a solid foundation. And that goes against the mainstream science.
Oh.
Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Hate to burst your bubble in the ball.
Oh my God.
But that's just the cold hard truth, pun intended. But anyways, so that's I want to discuss that now. Let's go back to Tet, for example. So if this is the earth, this is what the earth looked like before the earthquakes happened in ancient times. And basically, we were spread apart like we are now. So America was not how many miles away from the Middle East.
Israel.
We were all together. We were neighbors, okay? And Tet, within this model here, we're focusing on the earth today, but there are multiple avenues that you can take on this topic alone, right?
Yeah.
So
That's an understatement.
Tet has to do with all the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, it's a model of the tabernacle. So if you look at scripture and you look at all 12 tribes and where they were formed, you will see there was 3, 6, 9, 12. You will see the 12 tribes. Well, what's interesting about this pictograph is this is a mirror image. The tribes that were set up on the tabernacle on earth are a mirror image of the constellations that are up in the Shamayim. And that's, are you going to read that? That's Job, he talks about that, the Mazzaroth, and the constellations, and the different tribes have different constellation names. And so if Matt, you want to read that off. I'm not sure where you want to really start, so maybe just kind of skim through and see. But the Mazzaroth, it is the constellations up in the sky are a mirror image of the tribes, and we could really go deep into that, but this is not going to be a long video. So we just want to kind of highlight on topics pertaining to the earth and the form of it and the functions between the sun, the moon, the stars, all that kind of stuff.
All right, I'm going to read Job 38. I'm going to read it out of the ESV, it's English Standard Version, because it's a little different in the scriptures, which is our favorite. So just to keep it not confusing, so to speak. All right, let's see. We're going to read 31.
I guess you can just decide when you want to stop.
Yeah. What
Okay.
she said. Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades, which is the cluster of stars, or loose the cords of Orion? Can you lead forth the Mazzaroth, and that's constellations, if you look the word up there, in their season, or can you guide the bear with its children? Do you know the ordinance of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth?
There you go. So
there's a couple constellations.
And there's actually several scripture verses, but I wasn't trying to go into a big, huge topic on the. It can go really, really deep, but the constellations, in order to understand how to keep like the feasts and how to read the signs of the times, you have to know how to read the sun, the moon, and the stars.
That's how the Magi found the Messiah.
Yeah.
The constellations.
So next I wanted to go to this being a calendar. Okay, so for anyone who is familiar with the Zadoq, or commonly referred to as Zadoq, is how you would say it in the English tongue,
Yeah.
but the Hebrew tongue is Zadoq, and it is compiled of 3 different pictographs. All right, we have Zad or Zadi, we have Dalet, which is the door, so we got the pathway and the door, and then we have Kuf, which is the sun at the horizon. These 3 pictographs right here, Zad, Dalet, Kuf, Zadoq. This is the word that means righteousness, and it's Strong's number H6666. Now there's other Strongs that are no. There's other numbers that are similar in their roots, and they're like H6662 and stuff like that. But the reason I bring this up is because these 3 pictographs, okay, these 3 pictographs reveal within them this calendar system, and it means the pathway to the door of light. So the sun, the Kuf, it takes a pathway through the sky. And if you read in some of the, what we refer to as the Apocrypha books.
I want to read a little bit in Jubilee 6 to let people understand why we do the Zadoq calendar.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so for years we did the, I know there's a lot of debate about the calendar, and this is the first year we've done the feast. It's going to be all the feasts. According to the Zadoq calendar, we've always thought that the moon is a very integral part of the calendar, but when Abba opened our eyes up to Jubilees, is that backwards?
And
is that backwards?
as well. I don't know if it is or not.
But this is the Holy Scriptures version of Jubilees that
Best
we like.
place to get books from.
Yeah. Support them. They're doing good stuff. So I want to read. I've opened our eyes to the apocryphal books, but especially Jubilees. It's a powerful book. And last Sukkot, we were reading through it together as a group, and like 4 or 5 or 6 times, we read something. I'm like, let me compare this to the Torah, and it was pretty much lined up. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 7th time, because that was the number of completion.
Yeah, number of
So
completion.
I'm gonna read
I like the sound of that.
couple verses out of Jubilee 6 that really changed my perspective on the moon being the big part of the calendar.
And the moon has a purpose.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
It's just, it's not the purpose that we typically would think, you know.
Just what I'm about to read you, if you're not familiar with these verses, get a copy of Jubilees, pray about it, ask Abba for wisdom, because these verses I'm about to read fly in the face of most calendars. So just beware.
All right,
Jubilee 6:31. I'm not going to read it in context, just read a few verses so we don't get the video too long, because there's a few topics in here that you can go for hours. All right, Jubilee 6:31. Thus it is engraved and ordained on the tablets of the Shamayim, the heavens, and there is no neglecting this command for a single year or from year to year. And you shall, verse 32, command the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 364 days. And they shall constitute a complete year, and they shall not disturb its time from its days and from its festivals, for all shall fall out in them according to their witness, and they shall not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. Moving on to verse 36 about the moon. For there shall be those who shall assuredly make observations of the moon. So they're observing the moon. There's fireworks going off right now.
Yeah, there is.
They're making observations of the moon. Now it disturbs the seasons and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon.
Yeah.
So the lunar year and the solar year, there's 10-day difference according to this.
So it ends up making you like a month behind, which is what we saw with a lot of groups, throughout the years.
So that's the reason why every few years we had to do a 13th month. And if you search 13th month in scripture, this is how many results you get. 0.
Yeah.
So
12 is significant in scripture. You have, going back to Tet, you have the 12 tribes. Well, also with the Zadoq calendar, you have 4 seasons. And within those 4 seasons, oops, wrong one. Wrong one.
oh my God.
Okay. Within those 4 seasons, you have 4 doors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And so we have 12 months to the year. All right? So each season, you exit one season and you enter another. And it makes sense, to start your year off when everything is starting to blossom. And that is what, with the Zadoq calendar.
And 364 is divisible by 7.
And
so that's an important thing too.
And the calendar itself is actually 360, but then you have 4 doors.
Oh, don't go into that's too much detail.
Okay, but yeah, that's true.
That's too much.
But I brought that up because Dalet is number 4.
Just keep it at 364. Okay. Let people study.
So, anyways.
Maybe Candace will put in the description box a series that I looked at that really helped.
Yeah, it helped.
Maybe, if she remembers.
Maybe. So.
A lot of people say, I put this in the description, and you go look for it, it's like, you said in the video, but you didn't put it there. So, if she remembers, she'll put a Zadoq calendar 6-part series study that's amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So if she remembers, it'll be in the description box.
If you say remember any more times, I won't be able to forget.
It's like a zeet. You have to remember.
Or remember is the word zichar.
Remember the commands.
Yeah, to zichar. So, kuf. All right. Kuf is one of the pictographs to the Zadoq calendar. This is crucial because you have to have light, okay? The opposite of light is darkness.
And it's a local sun, too.
Yeah. You have to be able to observe it with your own ayin, your own eyes.
It's not 93 million miles away.
Mm-hmm. So, I wanted to bring that up, that this is important because this is how you count for the Zadoq calendar, but also when you start your day, and that goes into an actual study that my husband has already done extensively on.
And I'm about to publish a book on it,
too. And he's about ready to publish a book on it.
Literally tomorrow.
So this is important because if you are doing, your Sabbaths, for example, and I'll just touch on this.
Wow, you're talking about a lot of topics in this video.
But they all tie into the timekeeping system.
It's a scriptural buffet right here.
And the foundation of his creation. So it's kind of hard not to bring this stuff up, but
to help you have a firm walk with Abba.
We used to, for our entire walk with Abba, we kept Sabbath from sundown to sundown, and now we do it from sunrise to sunrise. But we also base this with keeping the Zadoq calendar. You have to start your day when the sun comes up. So, anyways. All right, moving on.
Next topic.
Yeah.
Man,
so
we're hitting all the big ones.
I think that's, I did want to bring this up just slightly. Okay, so.
Slightly.
Yeah, just slightly. So, Tet is, as I said before, a model of the 12 tribes. Okay, So the 12 tribes, there's a lot of speculation on what those 12 tribes are and where they're at in this world. And we're scattered all over his arets, his earth, okay? But...
Oh, you mentioned arets. I got to look it up now.
Okay. All right, well, you're looking that up. I'm going to go
it
into
helps.
this. This is also a common symbol that you will see with the Cherokee Native Americans or Indians, indigenous people. And I bring this up because I found out this year that there's some correlation between the ancient Israelites and the Cherokees. I'm still learning information pertaining to this topic. They kept all the scriptural laws that we observe. So I've been doing a lot of research finding the connection, but this is their symbol. And you can do your own research on this topic, but there is a correlation between some of the ancient Israelite tribes being the Cherokee people.
All right, let me jump in there. Since you mentioned arets, there's a lot of meanings for that in the, when you look at King James, what it means land. Oh, wow, that's a lot. Let's see, earth. So the definition is from an unused root properly meaning to be firm.
Yep.
The earth, common country, earth, field, ground, land, nation's way, wilderness, world. I'm not going to quote just the part I want for my belief, so I'll give you the whole Strong's number. But it means to be firm. The earth, firm. So what does the word firm mean? Resistant to externally applied pressure, marked by indicating the tone or resiliency of healthy tissue, securely fixed in place.
Yep.
The earth is securely
Fixed
in place on pillars.
It doesn't
move.
Doesn't move like what we are taught. And if you do your due diligence, you will find out that what we have been taught since we were babes.
That's a good ending point.
Yeah. Since we were taught as early babes, we were programmed.
We little ones.
Yep, we little ones. We were programmed.
Indoctrinated, brainwashed.
Yep.
To believe this.
And that what is it? That we revolve around the sun, which is sun worship.
That's the heliocentric model.
The heliocentric model, which actually, let me put that in there. Yes.
Compared to the geocentric.
Okay. So for those that watch my way previous videos, I talk about Hey Lamed, the pictographs, Hey Lamed, the man praising Elohim or something, and then Lamed is the staff. Abba was showing me that there are several different models and words in our language, in the English language, because it correlates into the Hebrew, that the helio, starts with Hey, and Lamed would be the root words to helio. So that literally means people praising this concept of what our earth is. It is a form of worship. It is. And so what are you praising? I don't believe in
everything NASA says.
Yes, which the word NASA, by the way, is the Hebrew word nasa. And I could go really deep into that, but that has a very interesting understanding as well. And so don't believe what the world presents you with. You need to go to your scriptures. You need to seek Abba with all your heart.
There is solid evidence, but and a lot of it is but it's got to line up with this.
Yeah. Do your research.
You can't take the words of astrophysicists and scientists over scripture, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Because that is a belief system.
It is a religion.
It is a religion.
And the globe earth is a graven image you find in every classroom.
Yeah.
They might not be bound down worshiping it, but
in their minds they
still
are.
give it homage.
I mean,
praise.
we've tried to change our words.
Saying globe,
you know, like,
and planet and stuff.
Yeah, like it's so ingrained in us. Like, what's a typical phrase that somebody would use?
Planet Earth.
Yeah, planet Earth. Like I've had
around the globe.
Yeah, like this isn't a planet. Earth is not a planet.
Just for anybody that doesn't know what you're talking about, the ancients, I think it started with the Greeks. I looked it up on Wikipedia earlier. Called planets, referred to planets as wandering stars.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, there's a bunch of stars out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it.
I could keep going on that topic, but
I know we could go.
Yeah, short video. Yeah.
Yep,
right.
Short video. Hey, it's close to 30
Hey,
minutes.
it's less than 40 minutes.
There you go. All right. We'll catch you in the next one.
Make sure your walk is firm with Abba and Yuhshua.
Amen. All right. Thanks, guys.
Shalom.
Bye.